Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we were running random missions, and this time we're actually going to run intel because I want payouts that aren't disappointing. Oh no, 15% movement speed reduction. What will I do? Yeah, it's completely manageable. Well, this mission's already going pretty well, and I'm just one-tapping everybody. Can't see the get kills while at half health happening anytime soon. Oh well. Goal here is just to kind of get levels into the seasonal mission anyways. Because all those Blight Haulers, that was a pretty good loot haul. So I'd like to pull that magic again, probably a couple times if I can. But I saw some interesting stuff. It's a never-ending circus over at Wizards of the Coast. This is now a couple weeks old info, but it hasn't changed. They're dropping Penguin Random House as their distributor for books, which, if you don't pay attention to book distributors, they're like the biggest, if not one of the biggest book distributors. And this is a directly negative thing for anybody selling these books. Because they're a lot bigger company, they're a lot easier to work with, and a lot of like comic book shops and stuff and hobby stores say they're great because if product is out of date, if it's damaged or whatever, calling up a big company like Penguin Random House, you're able to get stuff done a lot easier and with a lot less fuss because they have a bigger profit margin. So they can take a hit and be like, yeah, it's fine, it's whatever, we'll send you what you need, and that's good. What Wizards is doing is they're now using companies they own or partially own, like Diamond, which, once again, if you don't recognize the name, I don't blame you. They're a comic book distributor. And Diamond, if you talk to people who run comic shops, Diamond kind of sucked. They've gotten worse over the years, and because their profit margins are a lot smaller, they're a lot more resistant to replacing damaged goods or out-of-date goods. And in general, it's just a weird decision. I really don't understand what's going on at Wizards at this point, because this isn't like... It stopped being just a one-off incident like 5 incidents ago. You'd think people would have started asking questions, especially when I think it was Bank of America flat out said, hey, you're printing too many cards, you're devaluing just everything you make. I feel like if I was a stockholder, I would have looked at that, and first shareholder meeting I would have been like, hey, so, what's going on? Because this isn't doing too hot. There's rumors that Wizards is trying to create their own Marvelous 9? I don't know, it's the Critical Role people, their characters had a name like a boy band, and because they left and are doing their own deal, Wizards wants their own version. And I just... I'm cynical. I'm grumpy. I've seen this happen too many times. And I'm just like, why? You don't need a face to Dungeons and Dragons. You never needed a face to Dungeons and Dragons. That's why I've had a problem with how their books are laid out with, oh, this is Elminster's tome of, I don't know, colon dilation, and here's Hammerdick's Guide to the Multiverse. It's like, I don't need these. Give me monster manuals. Give me basic stuff. I don't need overly flowy names that don't tell me what I need to know. And it's weird. Because even in settings like Faerun, so Forgotten Realms, or Eberron, I can only tell you a couple characters. You don't need to have, like, the creators of certain spells. You don't need Elminster to show up. You don't need to be like, and now you find Bigby, of the creator of Bigby's Crushing Hand. You don't need it. It's weird. Because it takes away from a lot of the creativity of like, hey, you're making your own world. And it just boils it more and more down into like, yeah, you're in our world. You're gonna play it our way. And that's not the spirit of D&D. That's not the spirit of tabletop role-playing. Make things up. Fudge a rule occasionally. Have fun. Threaten to drop a dragon on someone when they keep insisting on going to a brothel. You know, have fun. Do goofy stuff. That's what D&D's about. Make encounters that your friends remember. Don't make them be second fiddle to some lore character. Not there yet. That kind of sucks. Don't care about a shield. Could have been better, could have been worse, but we did get a skill point. And that health regen on suppression gain is gonna carry us somewhat. Not gonna lie and be like, this is gonna be the be-all end-all, we can't be stopped. No, we're still gonna get pummeled into the dirt, but maybe a little less dirt. Alright, let's just run it up the side here. Yeah, Wizards is... It's sad watching a company I've enjoyed since I was a kid just go really weird. And I know, like, TSR is trying to, like, revive, and they keep doing some stuff, but it's not the same. And I've said it before, but I'll say it a million times. It amuses me because my friend who got me into D&D, we were talking. It always comes up every time we hang out. But we went to our favorite and the biggest, like, comic book and hobby shop in the area. And when we were there, we're just looking at all the stuff. And he just goes, "Man, I miss when this wasn't as popular as it is now." And yeah, it loses the fun. Yeah, it sucked growing up being looked at weird if you said you played D&D. So you just didn't say shit until you knew a person and you knew they weren't going to judge you for it. But at least you knew the people who played. They were all pretty like-minded. Everybody was there for the fun. You knew the company actually valued you. And I've said it before, no, companies aren't your friends. I never was like, yeah, my buddy Wizards of the Coast. No, I fully understood they're a company. But I also felt like I was respected a little more as a customer. As opposed to now where it's just like... It feels almost like it's a weird Findom kind of situation. And it's sad. Because it's like... When I used to see, like, Wizards of the Coast in an article, I was like, oh, what cool things coming out. Now, when I hear it, I'm like, ah, oh, God, what do they do now? It's like when you know someone who's just a major screw-up, and you still like them, they're still a good friend, they're family, they're whatever. But when you hear their name get mentioned, you're just like, ah, shit, what now? Because you're tired of just hearing bad news. It's just what it's become. And I think a big problem too is the competing games. Really, only Pathfinder's a viable competitor in my eyes. Because everybody else, their games get too bogged down in rules. Or, like in 3.5, you had just insane modifiers to the point where you weren't really... Your initial D20 roll doesn't mean anything. It's just you rolling to see if you hit that 5% crit or 5% absolute fail. And then everything else is just like, yeah, what's your strength, your skill modifier, any enchants? All that is going to carry you. What's kind of funny too with all this is I see creators kind of... I'm trying to think how to word this. They get way too worked up over it, which is rich coming from me. But you get people hitting like... They kind of end up like Blame Truth. Guy covers Call of Duty, but he will just start screaming. And it's just like, I get it. I think it's, for the most part, an act. But at the same time, it's like, really? We're hitting this level? I guess I never get to the I'm raising my voice angry. I'm just disappointed. But I always hope for the best. I always hope someone wisens up tomorrow and things go back to how they were. 'Cause I'd love to talk about D&D and be just ecstatic. I'd love to have that come back. Or I'd love to talk about, like, D20 Star Wars again. Granted, that one also falls on Disney to actually care, but you never know. Maybe they'll end up broke enough they actually care about stuff again. But yeah, it's weird. Because I've sat here and I've done my little analysis and done a breakdown of if they wanted to make money, this is exactly what you do. And it's never anything as bland as, like, just pander to me, guys, I'm the core eye. It's like, no, just see what you're doing and stop doing it. But like I always say, what do I know? I'm just a dude on the internet. I think I saw a couple oranges drop during this, so hopefully we got something good. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. Actually, who am I kidding? It's 3 seconds to bleed. I'm not really leveraging that all too much. But this Signum kind of sucks because chance to shock on burning skill hit. But let me pull up a actual bolter. Yeah, they don't have any flame abilities. The heavy bolter is better though. Kinda better. Damage bonus for Hellstorm is good. Chance to cause bleeding. Damage bonus for bleeding effects. Chance to trigger Thunderbolt on kill while I have chance to release Thunderbolt on hit. We'll go with it. And then our main implant. Berserk, it's not worth it. Oh, this implant has a chance to gain enrage tokens when I apply burn. Well, that's useful. Actually, can I even apply burn? Or is that a flamethrower exclusive type beat? Okay, that's all burning dot. Okay, yes, yeah, so that's entirely flamethrower oriented. That's actually fine. I'm not too broken up on that. I can sort out a build with it. Could probably actually do something pretty cool. But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.